Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, I am fired up today, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, we have some really incredible things happening right now in the Top Recruiters Academy. There's been so much interest and so much excitement over these incredible transformations, these rags to riches stories of people that were literally at rock bottom and 2 months later are now on the path to freedom, where they will literally never have to worry about money ever again for the rest of their lives. And I don't say that lightly, guys. I say that from dozens and dozens of people who have taken their lives from zero to superhero, and where they've really stepped into their power, they've stepped into their leadership, and really just phenomenal stories. Now, when I say phenomenal stories, you know, a lot of people, they start a business on the internet, they're never properly mentored, they're never properly coached on exactly what to do step by step. Okay, now when I say step by step, I mean really like the paint by numbers. So imagine what it would be like if instead of trying to wing it, instead of trying to guess what to do, you actually got the 7-figure formula. You were able to use the exact same Facebook post that we use, the exact copy that we use, the same emails that we use, the same images, graphics that we use, the same sales pages that we use. It's literally like getting a clone, right, of that you're going to be able to do as a 7-figure income earner. So myself and my business partner, we've made millions and millions of dollars, both online and offline, in both network marketing, affiliate marketing, online marketing, conventional businesses, just regular companies. You know, I've raised tens of millions of dollars myself personally for public companies, private companies, my own companies. And we give you the exact formula that we have personally used. Okay, so this isn't like, you know, hey, let's give this a good college try. It's not like that. This is actual, real millionaire mentoring, real coaching, real training, where you can apply the exact same things that we do to get the type of results that we get. Okay. Now, a lot of times in my promotion and my marketing, I talk about a situation where I started a business, and a lot of times, guys, I do this just to show you what's possible once you really understand the science behind getting rich, the law of attraction. How do you become the attractor factor in your business? So I started a business from zero, okay? The startup cost for that particular business was less than $1,300. I didn't spend a penny on paid marketing, and in 30 days, I made over $165,000 profit in the bank. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, how the heck is that possible? How could you even do that? Well, let me share this with you. It all starts right here. Okay. Do you believe that that could ever happen for you? Okay. Now, the interesting thing about the human condition, which we cover a lot in the Top Recruiters Academy, is that 70 to 80% of your self-talk every single day is actually going to be negative. And the only way that you can really overcome that, to rise above and push down that 70 to 80% of negative self-talk, is with personal development, right? Personal development is something that you have to make part of your everyday life. But where do you start? What do you do, right? What books do you read? What movies do you watch? What do you do to become the attractor factor, to tap into the law of attraction, quantum physics? Okay. Now, I was very, very fortunate in my own career that I had some really, really incredible mentors, some millionaire mentors that sort of took me under their wing And they showed me a lot of these principles. In my 20s was Tony Robbins. In my 30s, I was vice president with a gentleman by the name of Dr. Lee Poulos, and he taught me a lot about the subconscious mind. He taught me a lot about visualization, visioning, which is something that you actually do with your eyes open instead of closed. He taught me a lot about the time continuum and the fact that your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the past, the present, and the future. And every time you think a thought, your subconscious mind believes that it's happening right now, right? So when you're replaying stuff that happened in your past, your subconscious mind thinks you're reliving it again, and it's storing up in your subconscious, and that's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, what I'll share with you when it gets to mindset is there's actually two realities that exist simultaneously. You have this reality where you have everything you want, and you have this reality where you have everything that you don't want. Now, the science behind this stems back to a simple equation. And this is something that I actually learned in my 40s while I was working with Dr. Dov Baron in quantum physics. He taught me really the secret behind the secret. We've probably seen that movie, I know I have a bunch of times, called The Secret, but they don't tell you exactly how to implement it to make it work for you in your life. That's what you're going to learn inside of the Top Recruiters Academy. But I want to share with you right now how this actually works. It's a very simple little equation, and you want to write this down if you have a pen and paper, and if you don't, you should go get one right now real fast. You want to turn off all distractions. You want to turn off your Facebook, especially turn off this little puppy. And if you have kids, just get in a quiet area, tell them that you're going to be busy for a little while, and shut the door so we have your undivided attention. Now, this little equation that we cover in great detail to help you understand how to crack open the vault and crack through the matrix to get into the abundance zone. Okay, so here it is. The equation for manifestation is thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. Now, that broadcast is broadcasting out, communicating with the electrons. They're smaller than the atoms and the molecules, guys, and they're waiting for your instructions. They're in a state of what's called superposition. They're both a wave of energy and a particle of matter, both at the same time, and they're waiting for your instructions. Now, based upon that, the gateway of abundance is either going to be fully open or it's going to be shut like a dam in a river. You've got to learn how to tap into this equation so that you can actually start to manifest what you want instead of what you don't want. Okay, so here's the challenge that people have. In the first level in the game called victimhood, they don't even realize that they're actually creating all this shit for themselves. And after that comes the spiral. That's where everything starts falling apart in your reality. Job loss, divorce, bankruptcy. You could be in a situation where you've been in a car accident, you've had an illness, back surgery, something has gone on traumatically, and everything starts falling apart, like you're sliding down a scale right down to rock bottom. Now, here's the thing. The more that you get emotionally attached to everything going wrong, it gets worse. The more that you get angry, the more that you get frustrated that things aren't going your way, the more that you get upset about other people making money around you, guess what happens? You actually repel success away from your life until you hit the very rock bottom. Now, when that happens, finally, you'll surrender your pride and your ego and you'll be coachable. And that's sometimes what it really takes. People don't realize they're actually creating everything that they don't want by being emotionally connected to it through the repetitive focused thought which creates an emotion in their body, which creates a feeling in their physiology, and pew, out it goes, out to the electrons. Now, what would it be like for you if you actually learned how to be in charge of your reality, how to actually steer the game controller in the reality? What would that be like for you? Now, a lot of people don't even realize that this stuff even exists. And I will share with you that when you go through, this is an 8-week millionaire mentoring intensive, and it's typically 4 hours per week, every Saturday. And we really dive deep into help you understand how the reality works, what is it that's holding you back, your core beliefs about money, the programming that you've actually got from your parents, from your teachers, from your coaches, from your friends, your siblings, all these people that are around you, plus the newspapers, the magazines, the media, the movies, all this programming that's come into your being, into your cells. We actually have to unravel that and reprogram your program so that you're programmed for abundance. Okay, now it's a phenomenon, guys. I'm telling you, it's a phenomenon, because the things that you might not even believe to be true right now start happening like miracles in your life. Okay, no joke. We have people as young as 17 years old. Their very first month in business made $35,000 in profit. In 6 weeks, they made over $50,000. We have one gentleman who's a part-time, he's a full-time engineer, he works part-time. He made $13,000 online his first month in business. He has now gotten 2 pay raises, a job promotion, signed a $30,000 consulting contract, and in the course of a 9-month period of time, tripled his income. Now think about that, okay? Tried online marketing before, didn't have success. Tried network marketing, tried affiliate marketing, didn't have success. He got into this training program and literally straight up like a rocket ship. And now he's in a position where he'll never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of his life. We have people, now guys, it doesn't get further down the rabbit hole than this. We have one guy that actually got out of prison. He got into the program and he made $28,500 his very first month in business. Now, think about the power of this. We even actually have a homeless guy that was living on somebody's couch of a friend's house. Month 6, he made $20,000 in the 6th month. And 3 years later, he's now the CEO of his own network marketing company. Yes, the homeless guy. Now, think about that. Some of these type of testimonials, quite honestly, they're hard to comprehend in the regular 3-dimensional reality, right? Because when you look at all the other things that happen on your timeline, it's hard to even relate to them. It's hard to even believe that something that's that large could happen in such a little tiny compression of time. But in the quantum world, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. 1 + 1 = 11. And it compounds. It compounds exponentially. You will actually learn in this program something called subconscious time travel, where you'll actually learn how to trick your subconscious mind to believe that the future has actually already happened. Now, when you have the time continuum opened and the future's already happened, the time has to recorrect itself. So this is what ends up happening, right? And you'll learn how this works, why this works, and the science behind actually getting rich. So I had in a situation where I called my business partner one day and I said, Ari, I said, I've decided that I'm going to manifest $50,000, right, within the next 30 days. Just like, I'm going to do this right now. And it actually only took 2 weeks to be able to do that. Yesterday, I actually had over a $17,000 day. So what I want to do here today on this particular call is I want you to really be able to hear it from somebody live. Because when I'm talking about it, it's one thing. But to hear from somebody that's actually gone from rags to riches, that's completely transformed every aspect of her life, it's a lot different. Now, this is quite an amazing story, guys. I'm going to tell you. In fact, when I even talk about it, when I write about it, it gets me emotional just talking about it, because it's such a phenomenal transformation. Now, I want you to put yourself into this situation. Imagine that you're a single mom and you've got a child, and moms with their kids, they obviously want their kid to have the best in life. Well, sometimes life throws curveballs, and sometimes you find yourself at rock bottom, right? Where all of your aspects of generating cash flow completely go flat. No work, no job, no income coming in. This lady was actually living off of her credit cards to buy groceries. Okay, now think about that. You're a single mom, you're buying groceries on your credit cards, and every time that you have tried to make an income online, it's just been a lot of false promises, failed attempts, people that made promises and they literally left you like dust on the side of the road, and they just took your money, right? And a lot of people have been there. They've had a dream, they've thrown their hat over the wall, only to find that they've been scammed, they've been ripped off. And this is what happened for the lady that you're about to meet here today. Now, when she got involved and she threw her hat over the wall and she said, I'm going to do this. And she's going to tell you the story about how this all came about, because she literally manifested me to come into her life to actually help her with this process. But you got to listen to those little intuitive signs when you get these messages that are sent to you. Very important, guys, that you listen to those type of things. The fact that you're here right now on this call, that's a really good sign. And I'm going to let you hear from her when she explains this. But in a 2-month period of time, she went from zero to $40,000 in the bank, plus she wrote and published her own book. So it is my great pleasure to let you hear her story directly from her. And I want to welcome Charlene Savage, AKA Wonder Woman. And Charlene, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much, Darren. I'm just honored and privileged to be here. Thank you for inviting me here today. Wow, as you were speaking, I started to tear up, because I'm a lot of me, and a part of me is like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? I'm pinching myself here. And yes, it really is. And a little bit about myself, single mom. I'm from New Zealand, and I've moved over to the land down under, and I'm living in sunny Brisbane, Australia. And I've been here for about 5 years now. And basically, I'm relocated here because I was at a point in my life where I was married back in New Zealand, and I did exceptionally well in what you call conventional sales. And so I came from a typical features and benefits and pitching and selling type of industry. And, so having done that and, earning well over $300,000 a year, I built my dream home. I was driving a dream car, went on dream holidays. I was like literally living the dream, right? But behind closed doors, it was quite a different story, because, I grew up being surrounded with domestic violence and alcoholism. And so that kind of became my normal behind closed doors. And so, the marriage wasn't that great on the inside. And so it sort of fell apart, and we decided to relocate here to Brisbane to start afresh, as you do. And look, guys, it didn't work out. We separated. I was in a new country, no friends, didn't know nobody. And so I literally had to start from scratch. And, a year later, we got divorced. And that was when I really hit rock bottom. It really hit me. It came to my realization that this was over. And, so I threw myself back into the likes of, alcohol and things like that. And I hit depression in a big, big way, in a major way. No one was able to help me. It was really challenging for me. And so I was at a point where I literally cried out to God, and that was when my life completely transformed and changed. And that's when I followed the path of, following God. And during that time, I actually quit my job and I went to Bible college, and it was just completely left field. And so I was going through this whole massive internal transformation. But, as a student, I needed to find some form of income, right? And I'd heard about this thing called multi-level marketing and network marketing. It was like this big shiny object. And so I went chasing this shiny object. And what I thought was like, wow, these guys are making all these thousands of dollars. They're building these teams. They're living the dream life. I can do that too because I've done it before. But, so I tried the shakes. I tried the supplements. I tried the antioxidants. I did the H2 water. I even got stuck into digital currency, which I still am in today. However, one thing became really, really evident was that I was struggling to succeed. I couldn't figure out why I was doing what all these top leaders were telling me to do: go and sell, and get a list of 200 of your friends and family and sell the product. Have I got a deal for you? Lock your spot, ground floor opportunity. So I was that person, but all I got was pushback and rejection. And I was approaching my friends and family and harassing them, actually, to be honest. I'll be honest here. And, a lot of them did buy into what I was doing, but they did it out of empathy. They felt sorry for me. And so the monthly payments, they weren't able to sustain those, so they kind of fell away. And so I really struggled, and it became really discouraging for me to be able to stay in that place. And so, it was at a time where I was desperate. Like you said, I was using my credit card to purchase groceries. I used to sit and pray with my son as to asking God for a solution to actually, find out how to get out of it. Because I was applying for jobs back in the industry, but because I kind of had been out of it for a little while, I wasn't really in the game. So I was just getting pushbacks everywhere. So I cried out to God and I says, what's the answer? And he says, you'll follow the lion and the eagle. I'm like, wow, okay, the lion and the eagle. Thanks, God. And so I was online watching, just doing some research, and I came across Darren's presentation. And when he opened up, when you opened up your desktop, I saw this freaking lion. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the same lion I've got on my desktop. Who is this guy? And so I waited through your presentation, and so I thought, okay, there's no eagle yet. And then up came this eagle, which was the Top Recruiters Academy logo. And that's when I knew that I had to reach out to Darren. So I did, what you do, you like stalk them. And so I went on Facebook and just completely stalked you, Darren. I was like, who is this guy? Right? And so that's when I reached out to you. And, reaching out to you, I basically said, look, whatever it is that you're doing, I want in. I just threw myself right in. I didn't know what I was signing up for. I had no idea. But, when God speaks, I kind of listen. He's always been good to me. And so I followed him. And like you were saying before, Darren, there's always something higher than yourself and bigger than yourself. And you've got to watch those signs. And you've got to either choose to follow the signs, or you've got to choose to sort of turn away. But I chose to follow. And in doing that, I signed up for, Top Recruiters. I kind of did the opposite. I went for the big program, and then I kind of joined everything else. But I will never regret it, because had I not thrown myself in completely and surrendered my ego completely and just said, okay, I haven't done so well. You've got a formula that works. You've got all of these testimonies from kids as young as 17 to families, to people who are still working full time, right, and still succeeding and earning like $13,000 a month. There had to be something in it. And so I threw myself in. And, with Top Recruiters Academy and Black Ops has just completely transformed my way of looking at myself as a CEO and a business. I was working from home before, yes, but I wasn't doing that well. I was pushing paper around. I was looking like I was busy. I was making myself cups of teas and then I'll go and put the washing on. And so I just didn't really do any income producing activities that were going to help me get to achieving my goal of, say, $10,000 a month. And that was my income, my intention was, okay, I want to at least earn, say, 5,000 first and then go to 10,000 a month. But now my intention is, it's now 20,000, but I'm feeling pretty confident I could hit the $30,000 mark with ease, knowing what I know now. So as I've grown with TRA, I've reset my intentions because it's become my new norm. And when you have a new norm, you kind of get used to that comfort. Okay, you're stronger there. So, okay, maybe I can just push myself a little bit more. So I've become stronger in business. I've become stronger in my mindset because, like you said, it's all about thought-directed emotion, Darren, and it becomes your feeling. I literally wake up feeling like, yes, today is a four-figure day. Today is $1,000 day, or today is a $3,000 day. Whatever that is for me, it happens. Right, Darren? I've actually told you, hey, Darren, I'm going to make $3,000 today. And you're like, yep, it's possible. And boom, 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 it happens. And I've learned all of this through the training. And, when I signed up, I think there was only going to be like a 2-hour session or something, but you've actually doubled the value. I've noticed that you can't help but not give so much value. You just sort of pause out, and it's like 4 hours later, we're still receiving so much because you've got so much to give and so much to offer. And it's a journey of applying business strategies, applying day-to-day tactical things, and really small tweaks that kind of look simple, but no one's actually doing it. And there's also the emotions. There's the physiology, there's the mental stuff. There's so much. It's all wrapped up. It's like Christmas all in one package, right? It's like the combo package that you get that I needed, and I actually really looked forward to getting on. It was a Sunday call for me. It was 6:30 in the morning, and there were times where it had to be at 3 o'clock in the morning. Did that stop me? No, because I have a dream, and I set my alarm to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because that's what 7-figure income earners do. So if I want to be a 7-figure income earner, I need to sacrifice some things too. And, Darren, you've just been an amazing inspiration to me. I've still got to work my way to 13 all-nighters, I might say. One all-nighter for me was a huge thing. But there's just so much. I could talk all day about how much value this program has given me, and it was so much value. I signed up twice, not once, for 8 weeks. I loved it so much. I was like, Darren, I'm back in. I need to stay in because there's such an amazing portal of energy and vibration within this collective that you cannot help but not have that feeling, those thoughts, those emotions, those directed emotions of success. And when everyone else is successful, you're there, you're riding the wave with them. And it's just completely phenomenal. So I could go on.
Well, let me just share a couple things here, guys. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about the Top Recruiters Academy. It is an 8-week millionaire mentoring intensive, okay? Now, when I say that, I don't say that lightly, guys, okay? This is a 2-month period of time, and every week it's roughly about 4 hours. I admit sometimes I go over a little bit. I get carried away sometimes. This stuff just starts flowing through me, and I want to give as much value to the people as I possibly can. Okay, now in the event that you were to actually calculate out what it actually is worth, I give you over $38,000 in millionaire mentoring, okay? That's real. It's no BS. You can actually go to my website, darrenlittle.com, click on mentoring and coaching, and you'll see that 1 hour millionaire mentoring is $1,000. If somebody does a 90-day program, it's 10 grand. If they hire me for a full year, it's $40,000. It's right on my website, right? Those are once per week sessions. These are 4 hours at a time, right? Over the course of 2 months. Now, sometimes what I do is even bonus sessions as well for the team. If I get an inspiration, I think, guys, you got to learn this thing right now. I even do bonus sessions. but I want for you to really understand what is really holding you back, okay? Now, if you're in network marketing, direct sales, MLM, affiliate marketing, things of that nature, there's typically 5 major pain points that you have in the industry. The first one is you don't want to harass your friends and family, right? That sucks, right? Now, why does it suck? Because the rejection is off the charts, right? It's crazy. People will literally pummel you down to nothing, right? They will say, I'm so disappointed in you. Why would you ever do one of those scams, those pyramid things? Why would you ever do that, right? They don't even understand our business model, right? But they will pummel you down to nothing. Now, that really affects your confidence and self-esteem, guys, in a big way, okay? In a big way. And for most people, the worst thing, the thing that they want to avoid is rejection, right? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when people, your peers, start putting you down. So people don't want to get rejected. Now, once they burn through the warm market, they don't know how to generate leads. How do you generate leads for your business? So they don't know how to generate leads. Even if I handed you 20,000 leads, you wouldn't know what to do with them anyway. What do you say to the people? And if you're coming from pitching, you're going to get rejected. It's just how the business model is. But it doesn't have to be that way. What if you learned how to turn around the polarity to become the magnet? So those people were pulled to you, attracted to you. So we teach you how to close and upsell those people to higher ticket products and how to get team duplication in your business. I'm talking about explosive team duplication, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 levels down in your organization in duplication. Now, if you're in an online company, online marketing, online affiliate marketing, where they typically are going to tell you about 2 areas. One is they're going to try to get you to buy up as high on the ladder as possible with their high ticket products. Now, a lot of the times, those can be 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 55,000, 75,000, all the way up to as high as $100,000. Now, where's the average person going to come up with that kind of money? What are they going to do? Are they going to use their whole savings account? Are they going to take out a loan? Are they going to take out a second mortgage against their house, right? Now, what happens is when they go and get those loans, they've used up all their money that they had. They went to get these high ticket products, and now they don't have any money for marketing, right? They're telling you to go buy traffic. Well, you just used up all your money to buy the high ticket products. So what do you do now? You're kind of hooped, right? You don't have the money to buy your traffic, your solo ads, your banner ads, ad placement, right? Magazines, whatever, right? So you've got this big void. So there's one area here with a high ticket problem, and there's another area here with marketing problem, okay? What we do is we show you the 7-figure model. Now, most people that get into this industry, they're pitching their deal on the front end. The 7-figure income earners don't do that, just so you know. What they do is they have something that's kind of like this little ATM machine here, okay? And what it does is it targets the pain of the marketplace first on the front, okay? So everybody that's sold on the business model shows up as leads, okay? So as an example, let's say that you're over here and you're in a weight loss company, okay? And I'm over here and I'm in a skincare company, right? You already think you have the ticket to the promised land here with weight loss. I already think I have the ticket to the promised land with skincare. So what's going to happen if we're both out there promoting our primary businesses? Right? It's constant going to be rejection. So now what do I say? Well, our comp plan's better than your comp plan. No, we got more 7-figure income earners than you do, right? So you're right into this, right? This person already feels they have their ticket. This person already feels they have their ticket, right? Problem, okay? Now, the 7-figure income earners don't do that, just so you know. Here's the difference. Now watch what would happen if I did this on social media. Hey everyone, I just learned this really cool strategy that's generated me 250 red hot targeted leads on Facebook for free. Anybody interested? If I get 40 likes, I'm doing a webinar. Guess who's coming? Weight loss, skincare, online tools, legal, energy drinks, power. They're all coming, guys. They're all coming. All these qualified buyers are now showing up to your webinar. Now, once you learn the 7-figure model, when the value that you provide as a leader dwarfs the value that they're getting from their current leader, they jump ship and they join you, okay? What people are really looking for is leadership. That's what they want. They want somebody that's going to be able to give them an exact blueprint, an exact target, an exact path to the promised land. That's what they want. They want a step-by-step blueprint on exactly what to do, exactly what content to create, exactly what emails to send, exactly what questions to ask, and what to say every single step of the way, okay? Now, I call it the straight line, right? So if you have a connection with a person right here, what are you going to do all the way along this straight line to finally get them to the finish line, right? Which is them becoming an affiliate or buying your product, right? Now, this line from here to here has nothing to do with your company. It has nothing to do with your products. It has nothing to do with your comp plan. It has nothing to do with your patents and your trademarks and your blah, 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 blah. People don't care, okay? People don't care, just so you know. So all the stuff that most people say during this time is not even important. What's important is this person, okay? This person is the important person. Their vision, their dream, their pain, their problem, their passion. It has nothing to do with your products. Zero, okay? Now, people truly, as long as the product, whatever the product is, as long as it works, okay, as long as it works, as long as it provides fair market value, and there's fair compensation if you sell it, right? That's the only thing that's important. Now move that stuff aside, okay? Because that's not the important part. The important part is this. How do I make money? Show me how to make money with it, right? Doesn't matter if it's shirts, baseball caps, one of these things, batteries, telephones, it doesn't matter. People want to know, how do I make money with whatever it is? Weight loss, skincare, power, energy drinks, online tools. They don't care as long as it provides fair market value and there's fair compensation for it. They want the blueprint, guys. That's what they want. They want the blueprint, okay? Now, in our particular industry, what you'll find is, now, this is what my millionaire mentor said to me. He said, Darren, you will know when you really get this industry when you walk into a room and people that are talking, that are looking the opposite way, they can't even see you, okay? You're walking in the door that way. They will literally feel your energy go whoomp, and they will stop their conversation and they will turn around to see who just walked in. That's when you get this industry, because this industry really is about personal development. It's really about leadership. It's really about stepping into your power and stepping into your greatness. And he said, Darren, what you're going to learn about this industry is that the real product is you. That's what people are buying. They're buying you. They're not buying what you think that you're selling. They're not buying that weight loss or the skincare. They're not buying the energy drinks or whatever. Now, granted, those products have to work and they have to provide value, but they're buying your vision. They're buying your dream of the future and that pathway for them to be able to follow. The leader is the one that blazes the trail in the front. The leader is the one that goes through the forest with the machete to cut things down, to blaze that path for everybody behind them. Okay, now, what if the leader handed you the blueprint of exactly what they did? What if I was to say to you, I'm going to give you the exact step-by-steps that I took to go from zero to $165,000 in 30 days, right? To go from, waking up in the morning to having over a $17,000 day online. What if I was to hand that to you, and not only hand it to you, but coach you through the process, right? So what I believe is the best way to learn is to learn over the shoulder from somebody and watch them, to watch them do recruiting, to watch them sell a product and take notes, right? As they're doing it, as they're explaining it, you're part of the process. Now, when you see somebody that starts a conversation and less than 6 minutes later, somebody's pulling out their credit card and you're making $1,000, it gets pretty exciting, let me tell you, right? And once you see it happen, and then once you implement it and it happens for you, oh my God. Charlene, tell us about what that feels like when you had your very first $3,000 day.
It was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I still can't believe it happened, but it happened. And it happened really easily. There was no striving. There was no having to, to beg anyone to jump on in. It was just flowing so nicely. And all I did was follow the simple steps. All I did was follow the simple strategy and, get sociable. It's called social media, and get interactive and to communicate and build relationship. It was that simple. And, yeah, I love the fact that I can just wake up every day and have people literally reaching out to me from all over the world asking me, what are you doing? Whatever it is you're doing, I want in. What? That's never happened to me before. It's never happened to me before. Or people are like, hey, can you show me how to make money? Absolutely. So to have these types of incoming qualified leads from people who are following and watching. I've never had followers before, Darren. Now I've got a few hundred followers, and my friends list has just gone, and every time I do a live, I get minimum of 1,000 views when I do a live video. That's, I was lucky to get maybe 80 people watching my live video if I did one. And so it's really just taken everything on this online platform to a whole new level, a completely new level that I could never have dreamed or imagined ever.
What I want to really help you to understand, if you're just tuning into this for the very first time, is that, it doesn't matter what you're marketing. Okay, so I want you to think about some of the possibilities. Okay, so you may be a realtor, you could be a mortgage broker, you could be in the insurance industry, you might be in the automotive industry, you might be a stockbroker. You could be in a situation where you own a hotel, motel, restaurant, nightclub, lounge, a retail outlet, right? Any type of entrepreneurial, conventional business, okay? All these strategies apply, okay? You could be in affiliate marketing where you sell an affiliate product like an information product or a software or a system of some type. You might be in a situation where you're with a MLM, a network marketing company, weight loss, skincare, nutraceuticals, energy drinks, power, right? Online tools, right? You could be in a situation where you're even doing something where you have just a product or a service, right? Where you're marketing online. Even things like chiropractors or acupuncturists, massage therapists, things of that nature. You're an entrepreneur because you still have to market your business, okay? Now, I want to give you an example of what's possible. One of my students actually is a realtor, Okay. Now, when she came into this program and started going through this training, she was trying to figure out, how's this all kind of fit together? How is my real estate business going to benefit from understanding these principles, from understanding these different marketing strategies? Here's the interesting thing that happened. She stepped into a leadership role as a realtor, as an expert. We showed her how to become the attractor factor to show other realtors on how to be able to generate leads, qualified buyers, how to get more listings, how to close the listing, right? Because you can be in a situation where you try to get the listing, but if you're not stepped into your power, and if you don't have a succinct marketing strategy that you can sell the client on, they're not going to take you on. They have to believe that you're going to be able to sell that property if they take that listing with you as the realtor. Now, because of that, she's got more listings. Because of her leadership, she's got more co-listings, because now she's being seen as an expert in the industry as a realtor. Okay. Now, since she's gone through this training in extra commissions, she's made an extra $55,000 as a realtor, but the trajectory of where her real estate business is going now is at a whole different angle of trajectory because of what she's learned going through Top Recruiters Academy. Now, imagine being in a situation where you've never made any money before, okay? Never, you never made anything. And you go through Top Recruiters Academy, and all of a sudden you go from nothing to having a $3,000 day, right? One of my students, Nicole, she was one of those people, right? Where she was, trying and trying and trying and nothing and nothing and nothing, and pop, right? To a $3,000 day. Now, when you can start making more money in a day online than you may have made in a month in your regular job, working a full-time effort, it is life-changing, guys, okay? It is life-changing. Charlene, actually, I think this 2 days ago, Charlene, you had a $3,000 day?
Yes, that's right.
$3,000 day. Now, the interesting thing is, prior to it happening, she says, I'm going to have a $3,000 day today, right? And sure enough, boom, bop, 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 she has a $3,000 day, because you'll learn a lot about how we create the reality in the game, right? How to use the game controller in the game so that you can actually literally bend the universe to what you want and have the stars perfectly realign so that the gateway to universal abundance opens, and then it's just, it's a phenomenon. Because success, guys, just so you know, is a radio broadcast frequency. And we go over this in detail in Top Recruiters Academy. Success is a radio broadcast frequency, and you can tune into it in a flash of light, that fast, okay? But you have to learn how to condition your body through thought-directed emotion, thought-directed emotion, thought-directed emotion that generates a feeling in your body that opens up that gateway to universal abundance. Now, guys, this is a phenomenon. I've been on this path of personal development for 30 years now, and there is a specific science to getting rich. It's not an accident. It's not a fluke. It's not, something that is maybe going to work. It 100% works once you learn how to do this, okay? Now, if I can help a 17-year-old kid in 6 weeks make over 50 grand, if I can help somebody that just got out of prison make $28,500 his first month, you're probably thinking, could this happen for me? Yes, it could, right? You just have to be coachable. You just have to surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and just show up, okay? Just show up. Show up with a pen and paper in hand. Show up with an open mind. Show up ready to take action. And your whole life, as you know it, will completely transform. okay? Every area of your life, not just one area, okay? I'm talking about health and fitness. I'm talking about spiritual, emotional, family, relationships, your spouse, your kids, your friends, your family, your communication, your connection, the depth of your friendships, okay? I'm talking about travel. I'm talking about your career, multiple pay raises, multiple job promotions, multiple consulting deals that will happen. I've got one lady who's a CFO. She's making 100 grand a year. And in 60 days, she got a $212,000 raise. Okay. Now here's the bizarre thing. It was at the same job. So she went from 100 grand to $312,000 at the same job. Okay. Now, have you ever heard of anything like that happening before? Think about it. Maybe somebody gets a 5% pay raise or a 10% pay raise, but to go from 100,000 to 312,000 at the same job, this is phenomenon. There was one guy that was 2 months behind in rent, yet eviction notice. He was starving himself for 2 days at a time. And what happened was he learned how these things worked. He learned how subconscious time travel works. And 8 months later, he had $500,000 cash in the bank. Okay, true story. So it doesn't matter how far up and down the scale you are. Okay, we've taken people from flatline, homeless, all the way up to 20,000 a month in 6 months, and then CEO of their own network marketing company 3 years later. We've taken people from eviction, right? Eviction notice, 2 days with no water, to 10 days, $5,400 cash in the bank, and then another 8 grand after that, and then 30,000 in 10 weeks. And now this is Jennifer and Jose. Jose just signed a 6-figure deal, guys. Okay, this is only 4 months ago. Okay, so imagine being at rock bottom. They were being evicted. They got 6 kids. 3 live with them. They were literally on the verge of being homeless with 3 children. Now, think about what that would be like for you. And they totally turned their lives around. Now he's doing 6 figures. She's made $30,000 on the internet. She stepped into leadership. They now have 4 different businesses providing income to their family. Shocking, but true, right? And this is the power of millionaire mentoring. So Charlene, tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, I'm so excited, Darren. My book, I've actually got a mock-up cover here, which I just had laminated, because I'm actually going to have a real copy. I'm going to have 500 copies in my hot little hands next week. Now, it's been something that's been on my heart for quite some time, and I started on it late last year. But you know, writing a book is quite a process. But coming into TRA, I discovered that, okay, I need to take action on a lot of things. And in order to get to the next level, I believe that this book is really going to open up so many more opportunities for me. So it really just catapulted me into taking action and actually finishing the goddamn book, because I've done a lot of things where I've started and I haven't finished it. But I thought, you know, how great would it be to finish up with, say, TRA and actually have my published book in my hands. So it's called The Influence of One, and which is quite profound, because, you know, you being the one can have so much influence on others if you fulfill your purpose and if you fulfill your call. And I really feel that I'm, called to fulfill a purpose on the business mountain, but also the spiritual mountain with my faith, and to help many people along those lines. My bigger, powerful why is I have a ministry where it exists to serve a world full of desperate need. And, basically a lot of my earnings go towards building water wells for villages in India, and also safe houses for women and children who are desperate in need. Having dealt with violent, abusive husbands and relationships. So that sort of stuff is quite dear to me, obviously, because of what I've been through. But there's a powerful why. So that is my ministry, and that's what I do it for. And, you know, to be able to give back and to make a difference and to leave behind a legacy and so much more in other people's lives rather than just my own little sphere of influence. So the influence of one is about how I can become the influence to many, but my influence is God. And we all have an influence from somewhere, right? We have something that's really inspired us to become the one, to be able to help others. So that's what the book is about, really passionate about it. And because of TRA and all the, you know, the strategies that you're teaching me, Darren, in terms of special sauce, I'm now going to turn it into a product and I'm going to leverage off it, which is going to open up so many other doors, and it's going to provide another stream of income, which I never actually thought about before. So I'm excited to not only have my book published and released, but I'm now putting the program together for that as well. So it's really exciting.
Fantastic. Guys, I want you to really understand the power of this, because it wasn't just 10 weeks ago that Charlene was living on her credit cards, buying groceries on her credit cards as a single mom, right? She literally lost all hope on the path that she was on and didn't know what to do. She didn't know where to turn. And just by applying these techniques, just by showing up and committing to Top Recruiters Academy, in that period of time, she's now made a shocking $40,000 in the bank, written and published her own book. She's now stepped into such a high level of leadership that I've actually handed over the keys for the month of July, where she's going to be actually running one of the programs that I launched, called Black Ops Underground Marketing. So first of all, congratulations on that one, Charlene, right? Because obviously for me to entrust in her to give her the keys, then she's obviously advanced to such a high level of leadership that I'm confident to give it to her. Does that make sense, guys? I want you to think about that, right? I wouldn't just do that with anybody, right? So what I'm going to share with you is this. March, we were sold out. April, we were sold out. May, we were sold out. June, we were sold out. Okay, now, right now, I'm on day 5 of my promotion. Okay, we're on Monday. And there will be every day as we approach to Saturday, we're doing these live broadcasts. Okay, now I will be sending these live broadcasts on my wall where there's 20,000 followers there. I'll be putting them in my personal development group. I'll be putting them into my Black Ops group. I'll be emailing them to my list in multiple different lists that I have, and I'll be putting them on my fan page. Now, I've got 7 spots left, guys. Okay, now I'm not kidding you when I tell you that these spots go super fast, okay? And as we come up to compression, right, they start going like popcorn. Okay. Now, in the event that you're a person that wants to completely, totally transform your life, okay, and I don't say this lightly, guys. I say this from 30 years of being on this path. I say this from dozens and dozens of people that have gone from rags to riches. What I've done here is I've taken over $38,000 in millionaire mentoring, compressed it into 2 months. Compression gets you to your breakthrough, just so you know. And I've made it at a price that everybody can afford. Okay. So if somebody gets in and they just do one shot, okay, it's $4,750. But I made it even easier for people. And I've split that into 2 payments where you can actually get into the program for $2,500 down. Okay. And then in 30 days from now, you spend another $2,500. So it's a little bit, it's about $250 more, but the risk is all on me. Okay, now what do I mean by that? You got to be pretty darn confident in what you can deliver to allow somebody to make a split payment, because if they're not getting value in that first month, if they're not moving into breakthrough, into income, they're certainly not going to want to stay and pay the second month. Think about that, okay? So there's 7 spots left. Okay. I only work with 15 people, and I do that for a reason. I do that so that we can actually have one-on-one personal time. Okay. Now, in addition to the training that you're going to go through, there's a live interactive chat. Okay. And in that collective, the energy starts to compress like this, almost like popcorn. It's like popcorn heating up and heating up. And all of a sudden, pop, it starts going pop, 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 pop. Now, when one person has a breakthrough, it goes like this, all the way down like dominoes inside the group, okay? Because everybody becomes part of the collective, right? It's like taking little cups and pouring them all into the ocean, and you become part of that collective. One person's breakthrough starts to affect the whole group all the way down the line. It's a phenomenon, guys. I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you that if you're in that group, and you stay connected to that group for that entire 2-month period of time, your life as you know it will transform and change forever. The important thing is showing up. The important thing is making sure that you're there. The important thing is staying connected to the collective during that 2-month period of time. Okay, so I would highly encourage you that if you're obviously here for a reason, I want you to think about what brought you here today. What was the magnetic pull that had you show up here today? Okay, because that reason is going to be your driving force. Now, here's what my millionaire mentor said to me. I want you to go back 30 years ago when I met my first millionaire mentor, and it actually cost me $4,000 to get started 30 years ago. Okay, I was in my 20s. Now, if you fast forward that to today, that's about $15,000. And I wanted to get started, guys, but I didn't have the money. Okay, I didn't have the money in my 20s to come up with $4,000. That's like me telling you, you got to come up with 15,000. He looked at me in the eye and he said, Darren, you want to become a millionaire? Absolutely, I do. How serious are you on that scale from 1 to 10? I said, I'm 100, right? I want to become a millionaire. I want to become a billionaire. He said, okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to have to surrender your pride. You're going to have to surrender your ego, and you're going to have to step in your power and go get the money. And if you can't, you're never going to make it in this industry anyway. You got 3 days. And he turned around and he walked back into his office. Like just boom, he was gone. And when you're that young, I don't know about you, but at that time I didn't know any other millionaire mentors. It's not like I had a whole, Rolodex of millionaire mentors that I could go, okay, no problem, Harvey, I'll just go with this other guy, right? Because I didn't have a choice. There was no other choices. And I knew at that time I was either going to follow his directions, and he only gave me 3 days, guys. True story. 3 days, okay, to come up with $4,000. Here's what I did. I drained my personal bank account to zero. I went to my parents, which was a really, really tough thing as the know-it-all kid, right? It was really in my ego, and I thought I knew everything, right? My ego was bigger than my bank account. So I had to surrender my pride and my ego and go to my parents and talk to them about my vision, talk to them about my dream, and the fact that I had the opportunity to go under the wing of a millionaire mentor. Okay, so I took a loan from my parents and a loan from the bank. Okay, so my money, my parents' money, and the bank's money, and I went all in like poker. Okay, now my very first month in business, I did $40,000 in sales, and I took all of those strategies that I learned and I transferred them as well into real business to the point where I could then raise tens of millions of dollars in venture capital. And by the time I hit 35 years old, I was a millionaire. Okay. Now, from that information that I learned from that network marketer, from that millionaire mentor, it literally changed every single aspect of my life. Okay. No joke, guys. Learning what I learned from that millionaire mentor transformed everything. So was it worth it? Was it worth it following the very first step? Surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and go get the money. He only gave me 3 days, guys. You've got until Saturday, maybe less, because if the 7 spots go, we're shut, okay? I'm only taking 15, and wham, the door closes and the shopping cart's done. The reason that I do that is if I take more, I can't get the interaction with every single person. It takes too much time. So every single person on the panel, we get to your breakthrough, because your gateway future, guess what? It's actually backwards. Now, that sounds a little bit crazy, but it's true. Your gateway to your dream is actually backwards through your past. That's where the gateway is. So we have to actually peel back layers of the onion to get to the core of you. What is your vision? What is your dream? What do you really want, and why do you want it, and why don't you already have it? Think about that. Why don't you already have your dream right now? And a lot of it has to do with your core beliefs about money, the programming that you've got from your parents that's creating a blocker here. And a lot of it has to do with fear, right? A lot of it has to do with deservability, with worthiness, with self-love, and with boundaries, right? And there's this barrier here, this wall, right? And fear is what stops us from getting to the other side, okay? There's fear of the unknown. There's fear of success. There's fear of failure. There's fear of being rejected. There's fear of being ridiculed. There's fear of being outcast. There's fear of actually losing your friends. There's fear of what would you do if you made all that money? You might lose it. There's fear there around there. You've got to be able to peel back this onion to get to the core so that you are in a safe place, okay? And it's a phenomenon. I'm telling you guys, it is a phenomenon that will happen the moment that you take step number 1. Surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and say, I want success. I want to be the next story. I want to be like Charlene. I want to have a situation 10 weeks later where I have $40,000 in the bank, where I'm writing my own book, where I'm like that homeless person month 6 that made $20,000 in month 6. So Charlene, what would you say to people right now that are on this broadcast that are thinking about going to the next level in their lives?
100% without fail, throw your hat in and just do it, guys. I didn't have the money either. I went out and I borrowed. I used the bank's money. There's always a way. I was at my wit's end. I was desperate, and I'm so glad I made that decision to throw my hat in, because had I not, I certainly would not be sitting here, and I certainly wouldn't have $40,000 in my bank and a published book, and have my life change, not just for myself, but to actually inspire hundreds of others. Others have been inspired by my journey, and that wouldn't have happened. I've made an impact on other people's lives, just as Darren has made an impact on my life. So you could be that person to be the influence of many as well. So guys, don't hesitate. Just do it. Sign up. Do it.
Charlene, let me ask you this. Did you ever believe that, within a couple of months that you would be doing speaking engagements, that you would be hosting your own events, that you would be leading teams to victory on broadcasts, on Google Hangouts, on Zoom presentations, that you would have incoming inquiries, that you'd have so much interaction on your Facebook wall that you would literally have money showing up in your bank account while you're sleeping? Did you believe that you could get up in the morning and say, I'm going to make $3,000 today, and pop, 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 boom, $3,000 in your bank account? Did you have any comprehension that that was actually going to happen?
No, no, I had no idea what was going to happen, but I stepped out in complete blind faith. And I'm so glad I did, Darren. Darren, it's completely changed my life. And I just want to thank you so much, because I'm never going to be the same again. And I'm never going to have to worry about money ever, ever again. And I want to thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, that really hit me. That's wow. Thank you. Guys, I want to just say, first of all, congratulations for being here, but you want to be one of these last 7 people. Trust me on this. So click that link below. If you need to do the split payment, you'll see it right underneath this particular broadcast. If you want to save yourself $250, do the one-time payment. Either way, as soon as if you do the split payment, boom, one of the spots is gone, okay? And I can tell you, the last 4 times we've done this, every session has been sold out. So throw your hat over the wall, trust your intuition, listen to the rest of these success stories that you'll see on my wall, you'll see in the broadcast. Guys, my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, with the Top Recruiters Academy. I'm excited for you. Click that link below. Throw your hat over the wall. July 1st is the first date that we're going. 1:30 Pacific Standard Time is liftoff. Get ready to change your life. So thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP broadcast, and have a great day. All the best. Thanks, Charlene, for joining us here today.